Continuing from where the story left off, Xiao Yan stepped in to teach a lesson to those in the Yao clan who showed disrespect to Yao Lao, making them understand that strength commands respect. At the peak of Medicine Mountain, the clouds swirled, and a strange fragrance of pills spread, giving people a feeling of being in a fairyland, serene and refreshing. On the summit of Medicine Mountain, vast patches of medicinal herbs gathered like an ocean. Above this sea of herbs, a gigantic plaza floated in mid-air. At the four corners of the plaza stood four enormous pill cauldrons, from which the scent of pills rose, sending columns of smoke straight into the clouds. Nowadays, the floating platform was crowded with people, and the sound of lively conversations filled the air. Looking towards the north of the stone platform, rows of stone chairs were lined up, with beautiful maidens flitting about like butterflies, deftly filling the jade cups on the stone tables. As Xiao Yan and Yao Lao ascended the peak, their eyes scanned the surroundings, about to casually find a spot when Elder Wan Hui rose from one of the stone chairs and laughed. "Leader Yao Chun, young friend Xiao Yan, this way please." "Yao Chun? Xiao Yan? The Sky Mansion Alliance? I didn't expect these two to show up." Rumor has it that Yao Chun was once a member of the Yao clan but was later expelled for some reason. Really? If that's true, the Yao clan must be regretting it now. Elder Wan Hui's laughter immediately drew numerous gazes toward Xiao Yan and Yao Lao. Nowadays, the Sky Mansion Alliance was a dominant force in the Central Plains, practically the overlord. Everyone present had heard of the Alliance's nominal leader and spiritual guide, so whispers filled the air. Ignoring the various glances, Xiao Yan looked at Yao Lao. "Heh, as you said, we represent the Sky Mansion Alliance. If we aren't given a good spot, it would be an affront to our alliance," Yao Lao chuckled. Hearing this, Xiao Yan also smiled. With a flicker of their figures, the two appeared near Elder Wan Hui and chose a place to sit. The attentive maidens quickly stepped forward to serve them respectfully. Seeing the two take their seats, Elder Wan Hui smiled at them. However, the other elders of the Yao clan beside him seemed somewhat uneasy. Their seniority was higher than Yao Lao's, and if Yao Chun had remained in the Yao clan, he would have had to greet them respectfully. Yet now, the reality made them understand that if anyone should be bowing, it might well be them. The leader of the Sky Mansion Alliance, this status was enough to compare with the Yao clan's Patriarch. The prelude to the pill ceremony is nothing much, just some youngsters from the Yao clan showing off. The real highlight of the pill ceremony is at the end. Yao Lao looked down at the massive stone platform below, chuckled, and then looked at Xiao Yan. "If you can win in the final competition, the title of the best alchemist on the continent of Doqi will be yours. I don't care about being the best or second best. The Yao clan's arrogance. I just want to use the alchemy skills you taught me to show them that their rash and foolish actions back then cost them a true genius." Xiao Yan smiled slightly. Now his alchemy skills had surpassed Yao Lao's, but his achievements were due to Yao Lao's teachings. In this setting, if his disciple could emerge victorious, no one in the Yao clan would dare to stop Yao Lao from inscribing his parents' names on the clan monument. "You cheeky brat," Yao Lao chuckled and scolded, but his old face was filled with gratification. To have such a disciple, the heavens had not been unkind to him. "Even though your alchemy skills have now reached a high level, standing out in the pill ceremony will not be an easy task," Yao Lao said, his expression becoming slightly serious. The alchemists who can participate in the final competition of the pill ceremony are among the most elite in the world. Their alchemy skills are unparalleled, even within the pill tower. Xiao Yan nodded slightly. He naturally didn't underestimate the alchemists participating in that competition. They were not amateurs. However, the stronger the opponent, the more interested he became. Since his exhilarating match in the pill competition years ago, Xiao Yan had not had such a chance to compete in alchemy. Moreover, the opponents this time were far stronger than those in the pill competition. As Xiao Yan and Yao Lao conversed, the crowd around the stone platform grew larger and noisier, with a cacophony of sounds rising into the sky. The buzzing voices were so loud that they even dispersed the clouds. Amidst the spreading noise, a chime suddenly echoed in the sky, followed by the Yao clan members quickly standing up, their respectful voices spreading like a tide. "Welcome, Patriarch." In the midst of the overwhelming welcome, the clouds in the sky parted automatically. A white-haired elder in a white robe slowly emerged. With each step, the space beneath his feet rippled with strange waves, making the air seem almost solid. The Patriarch of the Yao Clan? Seeing the kindly-looking white-haired elder, a serious look flashed in Xiao Yan's eyes. He sensed an incredibly powerful aura from the elder, far surpassing that of Elder Wan Hua. That is the Patriarch of the Yao Clan, Yao Dan. He is likely at the 7-star Do Sheng level now, Yao Lao said, his eyes complicated as he looked at the white-haired elder. No matter what, the blood of the Yao clan also flowed in his veins, and seeing the Patriarch stirred mixed emotions in him. 7-star Do Sheng, Xiao Yan murmured, squinting slightly. This must be the strongest member of the Yao clan, stronger than anyone in the Sky Mansion Alliance. The deep foundations of these ancient clans were indeed enviable. Hee, guests are always welcome. In the sky, the Patriarch Yao Dan's aged face broke into a gentle smile. He cupped his hands towards the dense crowd, then his gaze suddenly bypassed everyone and landed on Yao Lao. His eyes flickered slightly, showing a complex emotion. Sitting next to Yao Lao, Xiao Yan sensed Yao Dan's gaze. Without changing his expression, a flash of black light appeared beside him as the Northern King reappeared, staring coldly at Yao Dan like a beast ready to kill. Yao Lao slowly raised his head, meeting Yao Dan's eyes. With a faint smile, he cupped his hands and said, "Greetings, Patriarch Yao Dan. Yao Chun, we indeed underestimated you." Yao Dan's gaze lingered on Yao Lao before shifting to Xiao Yan. His eyes stayed a moment longer on the Northern King beside Xiao Yan, and with a sigh of indiscernible meaning, he stepped forward and took the chief seat among the welcoming elders of the Yao clan. Hee, old Yao Dan, have you finally decided to come out this time? As Yao Dan just took his seat, another ancient voice echoed through the sky. Along with this voice came an extremely dense medicinal fragrance. Everyone saw a green light flashing in the distant sky, and within moments, a pale green medicinal cauldron rapidly flew through the air. An elder dressed in simple hemp clothing sat cross-legged on the cauldron, holding a staff seemingly woven from medicinal herbs, with numerous jade bottles hanging from it, jingling crisply. Shinung elder. I didn't expect this senior to show up. Seeing this person, a look of surprise flashed in Yao Lao's eyes. Xiao Yan, initially puzzled, soon remembered something and his expression grew serious. Although the name Shinung elder wasn't very well known, he was a venerable senior in the alchemy world. Even Yao Lao had to show him respect as a junior. This elder, who had been missing for many years, unexpectedly appeared here. No wonder it's the pill ceremony, Xiao Yan thought, lightly licking his lips, feeling a sudden surge of excitement. Competing in alchemy with such figures made his blood boil. Hee, you old fellow, you're still alive, Yao Dan laughed lightly, though without much surprise in his expression. Shinung elder stood up from the cauldron, waved his sleeve, and the cauldron was stored away. His ancient eyes swept around, then paused on Xiao Yan, letting out a slight exclamation of surprise. He smiled and said, I haven't come out for many years, and now there's a newcomer in the Central Plains. So young, yet his soul power has reached the peak of the heavenly realm. Truly surprising. Greetings, Senior Shinung, Xiao Yan said with a slight smile, cupping his fists in a calm manner under the gazes of many. Shinung elder nodded with a smile. Just as he was about to take his seat, his brows furrowed, and he turned around. There, black clouds suddenly emerged, spreading rapidly to the mountaintop. The black clouds condensed into the form of a middle-aged man in black clothing. As he appeared, a low wailing sound, like the mourning of souls, spread through the air. Suzie from the Soul Clan, coming uninvited. I hope Patriarch Yao Dan won't mind, the black-clad man said with a faint smile, his unhurried voice echoing in the air. Suzie. Hearing this name, Yao Lao beside Xiao Yan trembled, his eyes filled with cold light. Suzie? Teacher, you know him? Yao Lao's reaction made Xiao Yan slightly stunned. He looked up at the black-clad man in the sky, frowning. Another person from the Soul Clan. These guys always appeared unpredictably. Remember the incident at the small pill tower I told you about? The Soul Clan member who infiltrated the small pill tower and ultimately betrayed and injured his master before escaping. That was Hun Suzie, Yao Lao said in a deep voice, filled with disdain. That man is Hun Suzie? Xiao Yan was shocked. Yes, Yao Lao nodded slowly, his gaze fixed on Hun Suzie in the sky, his voice icy. This guy holds a very high position in the Soul Clan, even higher than Hun Miesheng. I didn't expect him to be drawn to the pill ceremony. Hun Suzie is extremely important to the Soul Clan. If my guess is correct, the Soul Hall's plot to collect many souls must have involved his planning. If we can eliminate him, it would cripple the Soul Clan. Hearing this, Xiao Yan squinted, cold light flashing in his eyes. He had a deep grudge against the Soul Clan and would gladly eliminate them if given the chance. If the opportunity arose, he wouldn't mind trying to kill Hun Suzie. But don't underestimate him. Hun Suzie's alchemy skills are exceptionally high. He was chosen as a disciple by the Small Pill Tower's master for his alchemy talent. After so many years of cultivation, his alchemy skills must have reached an unfathomable level, Yao Lao cautioned. Xiao Yan nodded. A person who could hold such a high position in the Soul Clan was certainly no fool. Underestimating him would be a grave mistake. Why is Hun Suzie here? Our Yao Clan did not invite him. Humph, the Soul Hall has been capturing souls for years, even targeting alchemists to seize their souls. Hun Suzie must be behind this. We can't let such a person participate in our clan's ceremony. The appearance of Hun Suzie immediately sparked intense reactions from many Yao Clan elders. Angry glares were directed at him, and shouts of protest echoed non-stop. The Yao Clan Patriarch, Yao Dan, exchanged a glance with Elder Wanhua beside him, both frowning. The uninvited arrival of Hun Suzie was unexpected. The Yao Clan had always kept a considerable distance from the Soul Clan. This ancient clan was much older than theirs, maintaining its mystery and eeriness over thousands of years, while occasionally showcasing terrifying power that kept others wary. Adding to the recent mysterious disappearances of the Ling clan and Shi clan, the three ancient clans, Yao, Lei, and Yin, had grown cautious of the Soul Clan and the Gu clan. Thus, the unexpected visit of Hun Suzie left them displeased, though they maintained their host's smile. Hee, it seems my friends from the Yao clan are not very welcoming. This is quite contrary to your reputation for hospitality, Hun Suzie said, his hands behind his back, his gaze directly on Yao Dan, smiling faintly. Hun Suzie, our Yao Clan did not invite you. Moreover, given the current strained relations between the Soul Clan, the Gu Clan, and the other ancient clans, your actions might deepen our suspicion of the Soul Clan, Elder Wanhua said in a deep voice. It is precisely because I am not afraid of deepening your suspicions that I came today, Hun Suzie laughed. This pill ceremony is reputed to be the highest-level alchemist competition on the Do-Chi continent. I am somewhat interested in the title of the continent's top alchemist. If Elder Wanhua has the authority to grant me this title, I will leave now. Arrogant. Hun Suzie's words immediately provoked an angry rebuke from some Yao Clan elders. The title of the continent's top alchemist cannot be granted at will by our Yao Clan. This title can only be earned through one's own alchemy skills. Yao Dan smiled faintly. Since you are so keen on the title, you may stay. Our Yao Clan is not inhospitable. As long as you follow our rules, you will be treated as a guest. Otherwise, even as the Soul Clan's chief alchemist, I might have to personally deal with you. At the end of his words, a sharp, murderous glint flashed across Yao Dan's aged face, asserting the authority of a clan patriarch and making others secretly awed. Patriarch, is this appropriate? Seeing that Yao Dan allowed Hun Suzie to stay, the surrounding Yao Clan elders were shocked. Elder Wanhua hesitated before speaking. The pill ceremony is our grandest event. We cannot expel someone without cause in front of so many people. That would make us seem tyrannical. While we must be wary of the Soul Clan, with so many people gathered here today, who would dare cause trouble? Yao Dan waved his hand calmly. I will keep a close eye on him. If he makes any suspicious moves, I will personally take him down. Seeing Yao Dan's resolve, the others could only nod in agreement. Patriarch Yao Dan is indeed magnanimous, Hun Suzie chuckled, a strange smile flashing in his eyes. He moved and appeared in a stone chair not far from Xiao Yan and Yao Lao. Yao Chun, you have trained a good disciple. Even deep within the soul realm, his name rings loudly, Suzie said with a peculiar smile as he settled into his seat. The name of someone who betrays their master and clan cannot compare to Suzie's reputation, Yao Lao replied with a smile, shaking his head. I was born into the Soul Clan and have their bloodline. As for betraying my ancestors, that doesn't apply to me. Regarding my master, I never acknowledged that old man as my teacher. Suzie shook his head seriously, his eyes narrowing dangerously. He continued nonchalantly, Yao Chun, you should actually thank me. If I hadn't taken an interest in you back then and wanted you to serve the Soul Clan, you would have perished long ago. There would have been no time for your disciple to rescue you. But it doesn't matter. Those who escape can always be recaptured, and the Sky Mansion Alliance will soon realize their naivety. Hearing this, Yao Lao's face darkened immediately. Xiao Yan remained expressionless, but smiled lightly without responding. With a casual wave of his sleeve, the Northern King beside him suddenly shot forward. In an instant, it appeared next to Suzie, delivering a fierce kick like a sharp blade aimed at him. The sudden attack caught Suzie by surprise, momentarily stunned by Xiao Yan's audacity to strike without a word. However, Suzie was no ordinary person. With a cold snort, the space around him distorted, and his figure vanished mysteriously, reappearing on a distant stone chair. The Northern King's kick pulverized the stone table and chair into dust. It then stood still, casting a cold glance at Suzie before returning to stand motionless beside Xiao Yan like a statue. Xiao Yan held a jade cup, and a charming maid quickly approached, obediently filling it with fragrant medicinal wine prepared by the Yao Clan. He took a sip and then smiled calmly. Those who betray their masters should stay far away from me. Xiao Yan indeed. From the distant stone chair, a chilling smile appeared on Suzie's face. He stared at Xiao Yan, and a terrifying energy wave slowly emanated from him, causing several Yao Clan elders to change their expressions. Suzie, today is the Yao Clan's grand ceremony. Fighting is forbidden. Anyone who violates this rule will be expelled from the realm. Yao Dan, who had been silently watching from his seat, finally spoke up. Since Patriarch Yao Dan has spoken, I must comply. Suzie's sinister smile froze slightly but then widened. However, the cold light in his eyes grew more intense. Yao Dan hadn't intervened when Xiao Yan attacked, but chose to enforce fairness when Suzie was about to retaliate. This was clearly a move to publicly put him in his place. What a Yao Clan! Suzie sneered inwardly, his gaze growing increasingly eerie. Yao Dan ignored Suzie's expression. His gaze slowly swept around, pausing briefly on Xiao Yan before his calm voice, like a low rumble, echoed through the area. The time has come. Let the pill ceremony begin. The Yao Clan, known for their alchemy skills, had the largest group of alchemists on the continent. While they held a certain pride when facing other alchemists from the Central Plains, this pride was not without merit. Perhaps due to their bloodline, the members of the Yao Clan find cultivating alchemy skills to be exceptionally intuitive. Moreover, the clan is not short of individuals with outstanding talent in cultivation. As a result, those alchemy masters who are quite renowned in the Central Plains are commonplace in the Yao Clan. Although not found in abundance, they are not considered rare either. This foundation inevitably fosters a sense of pride when compared to other alchemists. Of course, this only applies to the middle echelon of alchemists. At the very top of the alchemy hierarchy, the Yao Clan does not hold a significant advantage over others. While their bloodline powers make alchemy more accessible, relying solely on them is not enough to reach the pinnacle of the alchemy world. Sometimes, this innate talent can even become an obstacle to achieving the highest levels. This is perhaps one of the drawbacks of the bloodline power. Alchemists are ranked from 1 to 9, with 1 being the lowest and 9 the highest. 9-star alchemy masters are further divided into 3 levels: treasured pill masters, mysterious pill masters, and golden pill masters. Currently, Xiao Yan is at the level of a treasured pill master, having refined a 9-star treasured pill in his last alchemical endeavor. However, this was not officially verified by any organization. At this level, No single entity can certify their rank because they are already among the top echelon of the alchemy world. Mysterious pill masters are considered the elite of the alchemy world on this continent, with only a few existing. As for golden pill masters, none have been able to achieve this level in nearly a millennium because no one has been able to refine a 9-star golden pill. Above golden pill masters is the legendary imperial grade master, an almost mythical existence unattainable by anyone. For most of those present, the prelude to the pill ceremony was quite entertaining. The young generation of the Yao clan indeed possessed talents that ordinary alchemists could only envy. Those who took the stage were at least 6-star alchemists or higher, making the sight of the rising cauldrons particularly spectacular. Of course, this level of alchemy was like watching children fight for Xiao Yan and others, offering no valuable insights. Therefore, while the crowd marveled at the emergence of the pills, they simply closed their eyes to rest. The prelude to the pill ceremony lasted several days before gradually coming to an end. Fortunately, none of the participants were ordinary people, and many didn't move an inch during this time. As the prelude concluded, Xiao Yan slowly opened his eyes, looking at the young members of the Yao clan and nodding slightly. Over the past few days, he had observed the strength of the Yao clan. Many young individuals possessed remarkable talent and, with the right opportunities, could make a name for themselves in the alchemy world. With such excellent fresh blood, the Yao clan could continue to thrive. However, if the Yao clan failed to produce another Dou Di in the future, their bloodline power would eventually wither, similar to the Xiao clan, and they would become indistinguishable from ordinary humans. Of course, such a scenario was far off, making it needless to worry about now. During his observation, Xiao Yan also spotted some familiar faces. Yao Xingji, who had given him the invitation to the pill ceremony, was among them. After years of cultivation, Yao Xingji had made significant progress in his alchemy skills, securing a spot in the top 5 of the competition, a commendable achievement. Unsurprisingly, the first place was claimed by Yao Tian, the young man Xiao Yan had encountered outside the demonic flame realm. Yao Tian was the most outstanding among the younger generation of the Yao clan, and the pill he refined had summoned a 9-colored pill thunder, surpassing all others. Even some of the Yao clan elders were beaming with pride. However, their pride quickly faded when they inadvertently glanced at Xiao Yan, sitting beside Yao Lao with his eyes closed. They had heard rumors that Xiao Yan could refine 9-star pills, summoning the even more formidable Black Demon Thunder. In comparison, Yao Tian's 9-colored pill thunder seemed quite dim. As the tests for the younger generation of the Yao clan concluded, the atmosphere in the square did not quiet down. Instead, it grew even more fervent. Scorching gazes turned toward the stone chairs, knowing that the main event of the pill ceremony was about to begin, involving those who stood at the pinnacle of the alchemy world. Hee, it's finally starting, Yao Lao said, slowly opening his eyes. He felt the sudden rise in the excitement of the venue and smiled. Xiao Yan also smiled slightly, his hand gently rubbing the jade cup. After watching for several days, he realized he was getting a bit eager to participate himself. For this final main event, besides you, the other participants are Han Suzie, Shinung Elder, and Elder Wan Hua. These 3 are not easy opponents. In terms of seniority, even I am far behind them, Yao Lao said. Yao Dan isn't participating? Xiao Yan glanced at Yao Dan seated in the chief position. As the clan leader, he naturally has his pride, Yao Lao chuckled and then said seriously, but his alchemy skills are no weaker than any of you 4. The Patriarch of the Yao clan, the leader of the largest group of alchemists on the Douqi continent, must possess some significant skills to be convincing, Xiao Yan said with a smile. He understood this logic well, and no matter how arrogant he was, he would never underestimate a terrifying 7-star Dou Sheng. While Xiao Yan and Yao Lao were quietly conversing, Yao Dan slowly stood up from his chief seat. At this moment, all eyes in the venue were focused on him. Hee, the appetizers are over. It's time for the main course. I understand what everyone is anticipating, Yao Dan said with a faint smile under everyone's gaze. In this pill ceremony, 4 people will compete. I don't need to introduce them, as everyone should already know who they are. The winner will claim the title of the continent's top alchemist. I believe that no one will oppose the title being awarded to the winner here. Will the four please step forward? Hee. Patriarch Yao Dan is straightforward. I've long heard that the pill ceremony is the top alchemist gathering on the Dochi continent. Today, I came to seek guidance from everyone. Our Soul Clan is quite interested in the title of the continent's top alchemist and would like to take it back with us. As Yao Dan finished speaking, Suzie's figure appeared in the air, his voice carrying a hint of arrogance. The Yao Clan is known for its alchemy. The title should remain with the Yao Clan. Elder Wan Hua snorted coldly. His figure also appeared in the air, facing Suzie without backing down. Elder Wan Hua's appearance drew cheers from the surrounding crowd. This was the home ground of the Yao Clan, and they were not pleased to see someone from the Soul Clan take away such an honorable title. Although I am not overly concerned with such titles, letting the title of the continent's top alchemist fall into your hands would be a disgrace to us alchemists, Shinung Elder said, stepping into the air. His staff, woven from medicinal herbs, made a crisp sound as the jade bottles on it clinked together. He too floated in the sky, his tone calm but clearly disapproving of Suzie, given the Soul Clan's notorious reputation among alchemists. Elder Wan Hua, Suzie, Shinung Elder, these three are giants in the alchemy world today. This competition will be worth watching. As the three stood in the sky, the square erupted in excitement. Countless alchemists' eyes filled with fervor, as the levels reached by the three above were what they aspired to all their lives. Suzie glanced at Elder Wan Hua and Shinung Elder, then smiled slightly with his hands behind his back, exuding the demeanor of a master. Despite his character, Suzie's alchemical skills were undeniably formidable. With three participants here, who was the fourth? Countless eyes shifted from the three in the sky, then suddenly focused on the young man in black sitting on the stone chair, Xiao Yan. Under the watchful gazes of the crowd, Xiao Yan smiled and slowly stood up. With a slight tremor, his figure left a remnant image as he appeared in the sky. His clear and resonant laughter echoed. I've long heard that Senior Suzie once stole techniques from the Pill Tower. Now that the Pill Tower is part of the Sky Mansion Alliance, as a member of Sky Mansion, I, Xiao Yan, would like to seek some guidance from Senior Suzie. I hope you won't hesitate to enlighten me. Upon hearing Xiao Yan's loud laughter, many people secretly sweated. These words were quite provocative. It seemed that the enmity between the Sky Mansion Alliance and the Soul Clan ran deep. With your sharp tongue, even your teacher, Yao Chun, does not have the qualification to seek guidance from me, Suzie said with a faint smile, showing no anger from Xiao Yan's words. He appeared very composed, but his eyes were cold and indifferent, with a hint of killing intent. My teacher said I should be able to deal with you, so he doesn't need to take action, Xiao Yan said, rubbing his chin with a bright smile. However, his words showed no respect for Suzie. In that case, I am quite curious, Suzie chuckled. Without further ado, he waved his sleeve, and a vast expanse of black flames surged from his body, condensing into a massive black fire cauldron in the sky. A strange, devouring force emanated from the cauldron. Void-swallowing flame? Seeing the black flame cauldron, Xiao Yan, Elder Wan Hua, and Shinung Elder's eyes all narrowed sharply, and they spoke in low voices. To think that such a heavenly flame would fall into the hands of the Soul Clan, Shinung Elder said with a heavy tone, his eyes filled with gravity as he looked at the black flame cauldron. As a senior in the alchemy world, he was well aware of the void-swallowing flame's power. Summon your heavenly flames. My void-swallowing flame is quite eager for their taste, Suzie said with a smile, looking at the three. Is it just a sub-flame of the void-swallowing flame? Yet you are so arrogant? Xiao Yan chuckled. Although the void-swallowing flame in Suzie's body felt much stronger than the one in the Soul Hall's master, it was not at the level of the true void-swallowing flame. Clearly, what Suzie possessed was just a sub-flame. Suzie's eyes narrowed slightly. He hadn't expected Xiao Yan to see through it, but then he sneered. Xiao Yan might recognize the void-swallowing flame, but he didn't know that this sub-flame was no ordinary sub-flame. The void-swallowing flame was extremely mysterious, known to only a few. Even its sub-flames had different levels, with two special subflames known as the Heaven and Earth subflames. Suzie's subflame was the Earth subflame. The Earth subflame could be considered an embryonic form of the void-swallowing flame, far more powerful than ordinary subflames. However, if the main flame were severely damaged, all the subflames would dissipate and return to their source. This was a secret that even Yao Lao and Xiao Yan hadn't heard. Thus, they could only recognize it as a subflame, not realizing it was the dominant Earth subflame. Even if they did, Xiao Yan wouldn't be overly concerned. His pure lotus demon flame, after merging with various heavenly flames, had also undergone mutations. Not to mention a subflame. Even the true void-swallowing flame wouldn't intimidate him. If you want to devour our heavenly flames, you'll have to prove you have the ability, Elder Wanhua snorted coldly. He waved his sleeve, and a pale black gust of wind howled out. These winds twisted rapidly in midair, but upon closer inspection, it was clear they were a peculiar type of flame. 9 Nether Wind Flame. Xiao Yan was slightly surprised to see the gust of wind flames summoned by Elder Wanhua. This wasn't the first time he had seen the 9 Nether Wind Flame. He remembered seeing it when he first encountered Yao Xingji, but judging by the current situation, it seemed this heavenly flame had been reclaimed. Hee, Elder Wanhua, your 9 Nether Wind Flame has become more refined. Shinung Elder laughed as he saw Elder Wanhua summon his heavenly flame. With a tap of his herb staff in the void, he said, "In that case, I shall also display my skills." As his voice fell, the herb staff in his hand suddenly ignited without fire. A strand of green flame, like liquid, slowly rose and then expanded, forming a green liquid fire sea. As the mist from the fire spread, countless strange medicinal herbs began to grow, exuding a vibrant life force. Is this the flame of life, ranked 5th on the heavenly flame list? Xiao Yan's eyes showed a hint of wonder as he looked at the vibrant vitality spreading out. The flame of life, ranked 5th among the heavenly flames, was extremely unique. Unlike most heavenly flames that embodied destructive power, the flame of life was known for its life-giving force. It was said that as this heavenly flame spread, planting a seed within it would cause it to rapidly sprout and grow. This meant that with the flame of life, one didn't need to worry about finding medicinal herbs. As long as there were enough seeds, one could continually produce the desired herbs, a truly miraculous ability. Additionally, the flame of life was known as the flame of longevity. Those who possessed it would have a lifespan comparable to that of magical beasts known for their longevity. However, its one drawback was that it wasn't particularly good for combat, offering limited enhancement to one's fighting abilities. Xiao Yan had heard of the flame of life, but this was his first time seeing it in person. The life force it emitted was mesmerizing, making one feel refreshed just by being near it. Suzie's gaze was fixed on the flame of life in Shinung Elder's hand, a greedy look flashing in his eyes. In this world, everything has a lifespan. If he could obtain the flame of life, it would greatly extend his own life. This temptation was strong, even for someone like him. To think it's the flame of life. Shinung Elder, your fortune is indeed remarkable, Elder Wanhua said with some envy, smiling. The flame of life, once formed, had high intelligence. It would usually not appear as a flame but transform into various medicinal herbs, quietly rooting in the soil. Sometimes, even if you passed by it, you wouldn't recognize it. Only those with great fortune could chance upon it and extract it from the ground. Hee. It was a lucky find while searching for medicinal herbs, Shinung Elder said, stroking his beard with a smile. For someone who didn't enjoy fighting, obtaining such a heavenly flame was a truly delightful event. I've heard that young friend Xiao Yan has subdued the legendary pure lotus demon flame. I wonder if this is true. Shinung Elder's gaze suddenly shifted to Xiao Yan, who was looking at the green fire sea with a curious expression. Hee, just like you. It was merely a stroke of luck, Xiao Yan replied with a slight smile. A flash of flame on his shoulder, and Little appeared. Little glanced disdainfully at the other 3 heavenly flames in the sky, for it was the only one capable of manifesting in such a form. Is that a spirit of a heavenly flame? The exclamations came as soon as the crowd realized what they were seeing. Seeing Little on Xiao Yan's shoulder, The expressions of several people in the sky changed slightly, their gazes becoming exceptionally serious. They could sense an intelligence in little e that was comparable to a human's. As individuals almost at the pinnacle of the alchemy world on the Doqi continent, they understood what a spirit of a heavenly flame represented for an alchemist. The legendary heavenly flame constitution would enable the flame to achieve its most perfect state in the hands of such an alchemist. Reaching such a level was beyond even those whose soul power had attained the peak of the heavenly realm. Their heavenly flames were indeed extraordinary, but none had reached the stage of condensing a flame spirit. The Soul Clan has coveted the pure lotus demon flame for so many years, but it ended up in this kid's hands. No matter, these things will eventually be taken back, Suzie muttered, his eyes flashing with cold intent. Young friend Xiao Yan indeed has great fortune. I once attempted to subdue the pure lotus demon flame myself, but nearly lost my life in the demon flame realm, Shinung elder said, stroking his beard with a sigh. Xiao Yan smiled. Having experienced the demon flame realm, he knew how difficult it was to subdue the pure lotus demon flame. Without the remnants of the pure lotus saint, he would have had to flee early on. Despite Shinung elder's remarkable alchemy skills, subduing the pure lotus demon flame wasn't something alchemy could achieve. If the four of you are ready, please begin your alchemy. Yao Dan, seated in the chief position, withdrew his envious gaze from little E and spoke loudly. Hearing this, Xiao Yan smiled faintly. Little E opened its mouth, and a thumb-sized pink flame cauldron shot out, growing larger with the wind. Amidst envious gazes, it expanded into a fire cauldron several hundred feet in size, floating in the sky. Fire dragons coiled around the cauldron, their deep roars echoing tangibly. Instantly, the temperature of the surrounding environment skyrocketed. Elder Wanhua, Shinung Elder, and Suzie also summoned their own flame cauldrons, each unique and powerful, causing the temperature and energy in the air to surge. The stage was set for an extraordinary alchemical showdown, with the four top alchemists of the Doqi continent preparing to demonstrate their unparalleled skills.